Donald Trump's landslide primary win on Saturday in South Carolina gives him a clean sweep of all early primary and caucus states. It's also given former Governor Nikki Haley very little wiggle room as she continues her campaign despite the crushing loss in her home state and increasing calls for her to drop out of the race altogether. The focus now moves to this week's Michigan primary and then Super Tuesday.
Joe, you're fired. Get out. Get out, Joe. You're fired.
Just minutes after the polls closed Saturday in South Carolina, Donald Trump was in Columbia declaring victory and focusing on President Joe Biden, where it looked like GOP rival Nikki Haley was an afterthought.
I have never seen the Republican Party so unified as it is right now.
We can't afford 4 more years of Biden's failures or Trump's lack of focus.
In Charleston late Saturday, Haley continued to defy calls from fellow Republicans to drop out of the race, vowing to push forward.
I'm grateful to South Carolina. I always have been and I always will be. And I'm grateful that today is not the end of our story.
She was in 3rd place in Iowa, 2nd place in New Hampshire, 2nd place in South Carolina. But what she didn't do between New Hampshire and South Carolina is close the gap with Donald Trump. So she's going to have to, in Michigan this week, show that she can continue to at least maintain some level of stance in the race in order for Super Tuesday state voters to say, we're going to give her a chance.
Thank you so much. It's great to see everybody.
Haley was already in Troy, Michigan Sunday, looking to rally support ahead of that state's primary on Tuesday. Haley says she's the alternative for voters who aren't interested in a rematch between Donald Trump and President Joe Biden in the November election.
Because we need someone who can put in 8 years of hard work, day and night, focused on real solutions for the American people, not vendettas, not drama, just results for the American people. That's what everybody wants.
I think the former president has wrapped up this nomination. I think he had it wrapped up before this process even started. It's clear to me that extremism is what Republican primary voters want. And I think that what the former governor and the former ambassador is doing is, again, looking towards the future that she hopes to have within the Republican ecosystem.
It really is all going to depend on how the election turns out in November. If Donald Trump ends up winning, it's going to be very, very hard for Nikki Haley to come in as a candidate in 2028. But if Donald Trump ends up losing to Joe Biden again in this 2024 rematch, then you're going to have Nikki Haley standing on the sidelines saying, hey, I told you so.
Haley's pledged to keep going head-to-head with Donald Trump until at least Super Tuesday on March 5th. What happens after that remains to be seen. To stay up to date with this story and more, make sure you subscribe to our WACH YouTube page. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you never miss an update.